Hello, pretty people. Welcome back to Pretty Girl Anonymous. This is the channel where all the pretty girls come together and talk our shit. And today I want to talk about how decentering men has affected my dating life. And with me finally wrapping up with a pretty little bow my last little situationship, I definitely can tell that decentering men and starting this practice daily within my life has truly made me feel empowered and made me feel like I don't have to put up with anything. I don't have to settle. I don't have to make a man the center of my life. And it honestly made me dismantle and really unpack what type of relationship would be, ideal for me. And I honestly can say that I honestly think I'm done dating men that come from single mothers. I cannot do it anymore. Those type of men are the worst type of boyfriends, especially coming from me. To give a little context background, I come from a two-parent household, traditional household. My dad is not the sole provider, but my dad is the head of the household. My mom, follows suit, whatever. I grew up in the suburbs. I just had a very cookie cutter life. And to try to date a dude that comes from the polar opposite of that, there are so many gaps that I cannot fill in the relationship, and that a lot of men that didn't have a strong father figure in their life, they don't know how to fill it either. So it's just a big disconnect that I have really seen a pattern within myself. And with going to therapy, that's really one of the main reasons I started therapy, is because I started to see a pattern in the men that I was dating and the type of relationships that I would have and how these interactions with the men would go. And I just felt like, being a pretty girl and having the conventionally attractive look, I attract a lot of people. I attract women as well. But I was internalizing the whole thing of, oh, you are what you attract. I do not agree with that at all. I feel like you are what you tolerate. What you choose to entertain and accept is who you are. Or not, maybe not who you are, but it's definitely where you're at. Emotionally, mentally. You are that's where you are. But you are what you attract is not something I will ever get behind or feel is true. Because being an attractive person, anybody will feel the need to step to you if they find you attractive, if you get what I'm saying. Like, come on now. I can't control that. Now, who I choose to get to know me and bring into my space and bring into my life, that definitely shows who you are, where you are, and what you are willing to accept. But yeah, going back to the whole decentering men, I definitely have been able to see men for who they really are and not take things so personally and not really internalize the way a man treats me as to my value or who I am as a woman. The male gaze does not mean shit to me anymore as well. Like, a man telling me I'm beautiful or a man complimenting me, it kind of rolls off my back at this point. And another thing that I will not be putting up with is a man that doesn't have any self-discipline. And what I mean by self-discipline is, if I go on your Instagram and you're following a bunch of women that you don't even know, and majority of them don't even follow you back, that is a big red flag to me. In my last situation, that was one of the biggest things that I had an issue with. I mean, along with other issues, but that was one of the biggest things that I realized for myself, that I learned through this relationship. That is something that I'm not willing to deal with or compromise on. It is a boundary that I set, and I'm standing on that bitch 10 toes down. I'm gripping it, y'all. It's just something I can't do. It's something I cannot accept. I feel like if you are on these platforms and you are oogling and googling over all of these women, who am I? Who am I? And me and my dad even had a conversation earlier, and he was like, well, who isn't doing that? I was like, it doesn't matter who isn't doing that. I just know the person that I'm with will not be. And I feel like so many women in past generations, they put up with men. They tolerated men. They accepted what that man was, and they just let it be what it was. I'm not going to live my life in an intolerable level of unhappiness just to say I have a man or just to say I'm married or this and that. And I think older women, when they hear younger generations talking like this, it's almost like a shock. It like I said in my other video, when you go against the grain and you live your life for yourself and your truth, it makes people question their lies. It makes people question not even their lies, but their life. It makes them question, like, damn, why did I put up with this? Why did I spend 30 years with this bum of a man and accept the bullshit that he was giving me? We have options, and I think the fact that we have options, it pisses people off, because women have been the staple in society. We have put everything on our back. We have held everybody down. We've done all this. I'm not doing that shit. I refuse. If a man cannot get his shit together and cannot be the man that I need him to be, I will get the fuck on. And my dad was like, well, you're young at this age, most men are gonna da-da-da. Well, those men will not be in my life. And then my dad was like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to date older. I don't want to date older right now. So I think the year of 2024, I will be taking a break from dating altogether. Dating apps are a joke, a literal joke. I'm sorry. I just, And going out in public, even the men that approach me out in real life, I do give them credit, because it does take a lot of balls to come up to a woman, especially if you approach me respectfully. I respect that a lot. But just because I respect it doesn't mean I have to accept it, and doesn't mean we are going to talk. And one of my main things when a dude approaches me in real life, I ask them like 3 questions. How old are you? Do you have any kids? I think, yeah, those are the main 2 questions. And based on those questions will be, and if I'm physically attracted to them. And that's another thing in my past. I tried to be the girl that was like, oh, I don't really care about looks. I don't really care about that. And, oh, as long as he has a good personality, fuck that. If that dude is ugly, that dude is ugly. And I even, like during the summer, a dude that I had talked to some time back, he came back around, and my initial issue with him in the beginning was that I knew in myself that I was not attracted to him. But on paper, we should have worked. On paper, he was a great guy. He had a good career. He had a great relationship with his family, and so on and so forth. But I just wasn't attracted to him. And that really put a Debbie Downer in the relationship. And my mom kept telling me, well, you want a dude that, likes you more than you like them. And I mean, I guess to a certain extent. But damn, I want to like him somewhat. I want to like him a little bit. But yeah, decentering men, it really puts things into perspective, and it really makes you stand on your boundaries. And I think every woman should practice this day in and day out. And it is something you have to practice. It is something daily that you have to take into account, because centering a man in your life, it never gets you anywhere. And we've seen plethora of stories of women that have held a man down and been his anchor, and as soon as that nigga start floating, soon as he start floating, boom, your ass is sinking. So yeah, I just think that dating in this generation, I really don't even want to take advice from older people, because I feel like we're in a whole different playing field. The layer that social media and the internet adds to dating is something that other generations have not experienced. And I guess, some relationship or dating advice can go across the board regardless of when what generation you're dating in. But being Gen Z, even millennials, it's a different playing field. We are playing with different rules, different standards. We're playing on a different field, baby. And some of the relationship advice that older people try to give you, it doesn't apply. And I know somebody's gonna be in the comments like, you're young, you don't know what you're talking about, da, da, da. You haven't lived in my generation. You don't know what we're going through right now as a Gen Z. I'm sorry, you don't. It's a whole different ball game. But yeah, this was today's little rant. Let me know what you guys think about decentering men. How are you practicing decentering men? How has it changed your dating life? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much.